Hi, thanks for coming back to Ace for Addict. Thanks for giving my videos a watch. Thanks for being interested in recovery and in the way I've progressed. When I made the last episode, or the episode before that, I was speaking about the timeline and how to please forgive me when I go off a bit on the years. I'm not 100% correct. Being an addict, you don't it affects your mind, which you don't seem to understand and don't seem to realize. My mother always said to me, she always repeated herself to me and asked me, have I got it, do I understand? And she did say to me one day, yeah, because you take drugs, you're not remembering. And I always thought I had a great memory. I thought, no, it's nonsense, she's just been a mom. But the truth is, I see it now. Drugs really messed up my memory. There's a lot of things. I remember things, but I don't remember them in the correct time order or date order. I know when I started the drugs, when my addiction started. I know when my addiction ended, but all the years in between, they were so muddled up. So I'm only going to ask again, because I know you must be tired of it. I'm only going to ask once more, please forgive the timeline. It's going to be sketchy and it's going to be wrong at times. I'm also going to make a short, just to put it out there, that the time of certain things might not correspond or add up, but it's only because I'm trying to fit it in as best I can in a mind that was so blown with the drugs that timing is really off for me. But yes, thanks for coming back. When I ended the other episode, it ended end of 1998. We had left Rehab, myself and Susan. Susan was pregnant. We had left Rehab and were starting a life. This is where I say I don't really remember timing at all. 98, we got out of Rehab in 1999. Must have been around April or May. Believe either my mom or my sister, I think it was my mom, gave us a place to stay. We stayed at their place in Primrose for a little while. Eventually my sister and her husband did let us rent out their townhouse that they had in Brackendowns. So 1999, those last couple of years until October, we were working. We both worked. She worked odd jobs as a waitress or at a restaurant, so she was doing alright. I can't remember exactly where I was working at the time. I know Roadwing Transport was one of them. I think I was back at the bank for a little while. But we were working, things were looking better. I know for a fact that I was using on the side now and then, because I can remember working at the bank and going out lunchtimes to make plan for drugs and using quickly before I got home. So I was using. I can openly admit to that. I was, while she was pregnant. I never took anything home. I'm not sure if she was doing the same thing on the side and hiding it from me. It's very possible. I don't know. But yeah, so that will take us up to, like I say, it's pretty much a blur, 1999 up until the birth of my son. So 1999, 14th of October, Jordan was born. Susan went into labor. We went through to the hospital with my sister. My sister took us through. Susan was in labor there. It was absolutely terrifying because we had lost a child. So obviously all these things of what could go wrong was in our mind. I couldn't wait for them to do the test afterwards, the APOT test, to see score and that everything is just fine. So his birth was amazing to me. It was really exciting and amazing to be there. It was scary. It was absolutely scary. But it was wonderful. Susan gave birth at what time? I don't remember the time even, unfortunately. I don't remember the time. What I do remember is once Jordan was born, I had walked outside of Clinton Clinic and I broke down in tears outside in the front there. I was so pleased and I was so happy. Well, everybody was. Jordan was a healthy baby. I already loved him to pieces. I had two friends that came to visit there, Graham and Karina. They came to visit. They were very supportive of everything. But like I say, unfortunately, after the birth and after the excitement and everything wore off, we were back to our old tricks and our old moves and mishaps. I did speak about a poem I'd written yesterday. I'm just going to look for it. I'd like to read it to you. I'd like to show you just how blinded an addict is, and just how we think that we've got everything under control and we can have the world handed to us and the best things given to us. We can be blessed in so many ways, and yet without thinking we'll destroy it all. We'll take it and we'll destroy it. And this is why we lose so many people that we love, whether it's to death or because they've just turned their backs on us. It's very hurtful. That's something that I also must mention, is that us that manage to come clean, the addict that manages to come clean and stay clean, it's a very hard truth to accept, that we need to know there are some people that we hurt in the past that will never forgive us. They will only ever see the worst in us. And the honest truth is, we can't blame them. I've got a friend like that, I've got an ex-girlfriend like that. We can't blame them. We've hurt them so much. They tried so much for us, and in return we turned around and we slapped them in the face, and we hurt them. We really hurt them. Forgiveness is out of the question. I've seen it over the years. I've reached out once or twice, but it won't happen. It's not going to happen. It won't happen, and I accept it. I still appreciate everything they done for me, tried to do for me. I just wish there was a way to make it up, but I know that I can't. So to whoever that was out there that I hurt and that can't forgive me and won't forgive me, I understand, but I appreciate you and I love you. And obviously there was a time in my life when you were the most important things in it, and I treasure that time. I treasure that I still got those memories, although a lot of the other things are missing. The memories of good friends still stays with me. Back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I had to look for that poem. I unfortunately can't find it. I know it is here somewhere, but I don't know where I've put it. I'll have to search for it. But I have asked my sister to send it to me. I think she does have a copy. While I'm on the topic of my sister, let me say this. Delene, I love you. With all my heart, I love you. I couldn't ask for a better sister, a more supportive sister, somebody that stood by me through some of the darkest times of my life. I thank you. I thank you for being there for me. And I apologize, and I'm sorry for hurting you. I apologize for putting you through what I put you through. It really does still hurt, and I really do feel ashamed, and I do feel regret. I'm sorry for those years. Because, let me tell the viewers now, my sister Delene looked after us. When we came home from the hospital, it was Delene that was there for us through everything. We were new to being parents, so anything that happened, anything we needed, she would be there for us to help us and sort us and explain to us what needs to be done. I could call her anytime, day or night, and she'd be there. She'd come and assist. I remember staying in Black and Downs, and I remember her doing that. This is something I do remember. But then, like I said, later on, with all the help and everything we had and all the support we had of everybody, we still found a way to find our way back to the darkness and to that type of life, as if it called for us. It's as if it's something we needed and wanted to go back to. We had a new baby that we loved dearly, and it's not a matter of there was no love or there was no bond. There was an absolute bond, and the love was absolute. But addiction friends, addiction is something I don't ever want anybody to go through or to experience it the way that I have. Addiction absolutely controls you from every part of your being. It dictates every single thing that you do, every thought that you have. Addiction is there. It is something that is so scary and so terrifying, and this is why so many people don't make it. This is why the success rate is so low. And you must understand, a person in your family, or mother or father, that's looking after an addict, or has an addict in their family, or a friend that has a friend who's an addict, to watch them deteriorate and watch them lie and manipulate, and to try and always be there for them, it is trying, and it must be so hard. I can imagine. I was never on that side of the coin. I was the one putting everybody else through the hurt, so I was the one, never been the one that had to worry. I was the one giving out hard times to everybody, and only now when I think back, I can imagine what everybody went through that was close to me. I mean, this is my family. Let's talk about it. This is my family, especially. I mean, my brother, my older sister, my sister Delene, my mom, my dad. What I must have put them through, the type of pain that they must have gone through, praying, hoping every day that things will change, that I'll have that I will decide not to do this and just become myself again. And year after year, or month after month, year after year, eventually decade after decade, it never happened. And that's why I say, expect some people to turn away from you. It's going to take a very strong, very loving, very kind, very understanding person to stick by you. And unfortunately, that is the type of person that an addict needs. You need that strength to rely on, because by yourself, I've said it before, I'll say it again, by yourself you're not going to do it. You're going to need somebody to rely on. If it's not going to be a family member, then find somebody, find a support group. I'm not one for support groups, I never have been, never had sponsors and things like that, but from my thinking, surely then that would work. Somebody to be able to phone. You know, that hardest thing to do is to pick up a call and say, or pick up a phone and say, listen, I'm about to mess up, I'm about to use, can you help me? It's the hardest thing to do, to make that call. And I'm sure the person on the other line getting that call would appreciate it so much and do just about anything to get to you and to help you through that time. It's a difficult life. Addiction is such a difficult thing. Nobody's got the answers, man. I can sit here and I don't have the answers. I've said it in many of the videos, I'll say it again. I can't give you the key on how to become clean, because I don't know how I became clean myself. I'll say it again, by the grace of God, I had a paradigm shift. I woke up one day and I didn't even decide that I don't need it. I just never wanted to anymore. I've been locked up many times in my life, also short times, days. I've been locked up weeks, I've been locked up months, and even those times coming out, I would go back to using. So it's not a matter of being locked up for 6 months and come out, okay, no wonder you're clean. It's not. It's a mental shift that happens, that all of a sudden your body tells you, hey, we don't need that anymore. And every living soul that knows you and loves you will be around waiting for that day. They'll be waiting for the day for that to happen. So we started using again, badly. We started getting really carried away and using every chance we had, every moment we had. We'd be using day after day, day in, day out, and we had a newborn child. There was no neglect, I can promise you that. There wasn't neglect, but our thoughts and our minds weren't where they're supposed to be. I mean, we had a small child, so our mind should have been there and not on the next fix. And our minds were always on the next fix, unfortunately. God forgive me for that. So it was difficult for the families, difficult for our friends. For us, we just we just coasted through every day. That's why I can't talk about it, because I don't remember it, because our minds weren't there. Our minds were so troubled and so mixed up in everything else that nothing else made sense or nothing else mattered to us. So we just carried on. Eventually it got to a point where we had to leave Johannesburg. Things got so bad, nobody wanted us around anymore. It was time for us to go. We had to leave, so we decided to pack up and move to Cape Town. I had an aunt in Cape Town that was willing to take us in, luckily, Aunt Mary, wonderful woman. We moved down there, we caught a train to Cape Town, got picked up at the train station, went through to Aunt Mary's place where we stayed. We were so blessed, once again, we were blessed. We were given a place to stay, our own room, everything was wonderful. I started working again, I managed to find work. Things were absolutely amazing. So what I'll do is I'll start the next video on our stay in Cape Town and all the trauma, trouble and pain that place caused. Yeah, we're moving on in the story. Like I say, I'm going to be jumping back and forth through times as I remember. I don't want to leave anything out, so as I remember things, I might travel backwards and tell you something that happened then, or travel forward and tell you something that happened then. But it's simply because I don't want to forget, and I want you to hear the truth from me. So whether I got the timing right or not, at least you'll have the truth right. And then let me end by saying, my wife asked me last night, because she's very supportive of what I'm doing. So my wife asked me last night, because I said to her, I keep on forgetting times. I forget when and where, you know. I don't forget how, I forget when and where. So it's making it a bit difficult to keep it in chronological order. Except if I delete a video, go back, delete it, and that's going to take forever, because I'm going to keep on deleting, because I keep on remembering things. So she said to me, well, why don't I write it down the night before and go through it, and then at least it'll be in order, and I can give it to you people that way. And I said to her, I could do that, but the reason that I don't want to do that is because I promised these videos to be raw, I promised them to be unfiltered, and I promised them to be unscripted. And that's the way I want to keep it. When I talk about something that I haven't thought about for years, I want the genuine guilt and the genuine hurt and the genuine fear and the genuine happiness to come through. I want you to be able to see it. I want you to know what I went through. I want you to know that I know what you're going through. I want this to be a personal video between me and yous, that you can learn and that you can understand, and that you can just speak to an addict. You know, I've got no reason to lie about anything except to sit here and tell you the truth about my life and about everything that I've done and everything that I've been through. I won't keep anything back in these videos. You will know my life. So this is book 5. Book 6 will be Cape Town. Make sure you don't forget to share, subscribe, it's a big help, and come back and get people watching, let them watch. You know, it's good for everybody. Honesty is a good thing. Enjoy your day today, be blessed, be safe, and we'll speak again soon. Cheers.